and welcome to Let's Talk. Today, Mayor Ortis has some really important messages for all the residents, because 'tis the season, not to be jolly, 'tis the hurricane season. Right, Mayor?
Right, Elaine. Chantel visited us, and even though we didn't have the large winds, we had that tropical storm.
Boy, did we
lot
ever.
of water.
The water
Yeah.
in the parking lot of a restaurant that I was in was up to the top of my tires.
My boat was floating above the dock, so we had a lot of rain. But this is the season, and we must be prepared. Every year we go through the same preparation,
Yep.
and we tell all the residents must be prepared personally for 72 hours. In the event the city can't get to the residents, they must personally be prepared 72 hours. That means cleaning up the generator, getting it working, storing batteries, water, and if you're on oxygen, make sure you have a supply of oxygen. Of course, you need to store up on your medication. When Wilma came, when I first became the mayor, Wilma was a devastating storm.
Sure was.
And people in Century Village didn't have power for almost 3 weeks, which meant the mayor had to go up and down the stairs with ice, and I'm not that young anymore. So we want people...
You were younger then.
I was younger then. So we want to make sure that people at least store up for 72 hours. After that, we'll make sure we get to them. Then, we had 2 weeks we cleaned up the city. It was a great effort.
It was amazing.
Great effort.
It really was.
And we'll try to do the same thing if it's a devastating storm.
My building was condemned.
Yeah.
The fire department came and said, everybody out, go wherever you have to go, but you can't stay here.
And then BJ's parking right outside of Century Village, no power there, where we ended up doing a drop point, reconfiguring the whole parking lot. The mayor was driving a forklift and loading things in.
Fun, huh?
Yeah. Then we had people drive in, tell us what they needed, drive right out. So it actually, police, fire, general employees, park employees, everybody worked. No one was a captain, no one was a mayor. Everybody was just helping our residents, and it worked out.
That's when you see people getting together.
And I want to emphasize we have an emergency channel, 1670 AM. Tune into that. It's always updated with different things. And during the hurricane season, it'll keep you informed of the situation in our city.
And the city has packaged food
Yes.
that they give
Yes.
out.
Yeah, we'll have 4 designated areas throughout the city, east, west, south, and north, where they'll be told, and we can get the distribution of MREs, food, and ice, and tarps, and whatever is needed, we're going to do. Yeah, this city, we've taken a position. We're not going to rely on the feds. We're not going to rely on the state. We're going to take care of ourselves. The mayors have gotten together in the county. If you need something, you call me. I'll get it to you. If I need something, I'll call you. Get it to me.
Are there
So we're taking-
shelters?
There are shelters,
city?
but they're shelters that have to be maintained by, have to be a WIN standard. So some schools are sheltered, not all. So those will all be online of where to go, and they'll be told to evacuate to those shelters.
Yeah, and do you have to register before?
It's always good to register before. It's always good to register before. And we're going around the city, all the homeowners associations, telling them, bringing in a Memorial Hospital, bringing in all the hospitals, the police department, the fire department, our COPP, our cops division, telling everybody what to do and how to be prepared. Florida Power and Light comes out about what to do.
I know that the fire department did a film
Yes,
on,
yes.
what you do and what needs to be done and how they can help.
And we want to make sure we tell everybody, if there's a pending storm and they're telling you to stay in, please stay in. Because we're not going to put our first responders' lives on the line
That's right.
when they can't go out because they're going to hurt themselves.
Right.
When the storm is coming and it's really at that point, we want everybody inside, not out in their cars, not walking around, and stay inside at the point where there's no glass, the safe room, as we call it.
And the tree hasn't fallen on a power line.
Right,
or
exactly.
Dangerous stuff.
That's why we're telling everybody, and the city's already in process of trimming all their trees to make sure that they're
What do they
trimmed.
do? They trim like a center
Yeah,
piece
it's the
out
inside,
so the
yeah, you
wind
can't
can
club
go
it.
through.
You have to go from the bottom up and, just like you said, trim it from the inside,
Yeah.
so that the air can get through without toppling it. And we hope we don't have a wet season like Wilma right before it, where all the ground gets saturated, and those big ficus trees topple over. And we had a lot of trees. 30,000 trees in less than 10 hours. That's a lot. Wind all coming one way.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. That's why our building was condemned, because
Right.
it blew the roof right off 2 buildings.
City Hall was impaired. The doors were blown off. We had to go to our command center and run City Hall out of there for over 3 weeks till we got this
That was-
building operable.
That was a rough hurricane
Yeah.
for us.
Yeah. And they determined that it wasn't just a 1. It was all the way up to a 3, which we surmised that it was. So it was more than just a 1.
And what are they forecasting for this year? Do they?
Well,
say
they're
anything?
saying because the waters are cooler, we shouldn't have as difficult as storm-wise, but you never know. You never know. But this cool
Hopefully
waters
it won't.
is always a good sign for us.
Okay, Mayor, thank you so much.
Be prepared
Be prepared.
and be safe.
Is there an emergency number?
Well, we have that emergency channel, in
Channel
1670.
1670 AM.
AM, and it gives you all the information on it. Just stay tuned to it. Remember, batteries, water, oxygen, medication, 4 components that are very important.
And gas up your car.
And gas up your car early. That's right.
Yeah, because I remember everybody was online.
And get some cash.
Right.
Yeah, get some cash. And because sometimes the power's out, they can't take your credit cards. Get cash for
Good
whatever you
idea.
need. Most, the new law that was passed, a gas station, we wanted every gas station to have a generator, but now a common company, they have at least 1 for every 4. So they'll have a generator. And now most most shopping centers have a generator. So we don't think it's going to be nearly as bad as when they had no generators.
Yeah, we
The mayor has a generator now.
We,
I don't want to be in the dark.
we got prepared because
Got
we knew
prepared,
what would
right.
happen,
Right.
what could happen.
Right.
So, thank you, Mayor Ortis.
Elaine, my pleasure.
For OCTV, I'm Elaine Kugelman, and thank you for joining Mayor Ortis and I today. And please, listen to what he has said, because the life you save could be your own.